And hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. We are live. It is Friday, March 28th, 2025, and we are live. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you would, please bless me by hitting the thumbs up and sharing this video. Uh-oh. So let's go ahead and get into this. You know, I see a lot of things happening in our world, and I kind of want to, I have some personal stuff going on in my life, and it's really affecting me right now. And I never really talk about myself. And I will say this is that for the past 10 years, I have basically poured my heart into what I'm doing here. I've done everything that I could to try to make a difference. And I like to think that I did make a difference, even if it's a small difference, but I like to believe that I did make a difference in this world. And I don't know if it's because of things that's happened or what's happening. President Trump is in office, and I'm kind of wondering, are a lot of people thinking that they don't have to worry about anything any longer? President Trump is there. Everything is fine. I think there are some people thinking that they don't have to continue to push forward as far as what's happening in our country. It's like they think that Trump is just going to take care of everything. But things are still in a situation, right? Our country is still in a situation. And I think it's mainly because of what President Trump is doing that things are going to get a lot rougher. And of course, those on the left, they want things to be extremely rough and terrible for all of us. Instead of them doing stuff that will help push the country forward, they're actually fighting against President Trump and his administration, his cabinet, from helping the American people to move forward. And I look at this and I can't, for me, I'm struggling trying to figure out, do these people actually really mean what they're doing? Do they have such a hatred for President Trump that they are willing to allow people in the country to just continuously to hurt? And it's almost like they find it upon themselves, like they have to make things worse for all of us in order to, in their mind, make things better for everybody. And I don't understand that. To give an example, when Joe Biden was in the White House, they did things, they put policies in place that actually hindered small businesses from flourishing. They actually put stuff in to prevent big businesses from flourishing. And today I'm considered a small business. I have a small business, my studio. But man, they've made it really difficult. And I think that the reason why they really made it difficult for me is because of who I am and what I believe in. I believe in Almighty God. And I've put it out there. So the evil one knows that I'm not afraid or ashamed to tell everyone that I believe in our Lord Jesus Christ. And the evil one has taken it upon himself to use that against me and to attack me. And he uses other people to find out information about Will Johnson and try to hurt Will Johnson, because Will Johnson is speaking out publicly about all of this, financially, physically, mentally, just whichever way that they can to hurt me. They have actually tried to do it. and it's not a pleasant thing to be going through. I can only imagine that on the opposite side of this, because everything has a season, and I'm trusting in God to pull me through this, what I'm going through, and it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. It really is. And I never talk about myself. I never go into complete detail talking about myself, about what I'm going through, because everybody's going through something in this world. Everybody is. It's not that Will Johnson's problems are bigger than everybody else's problems, but my problems are my problems, and they're bigger than everybody else's problems to me. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? I mean, because your problems are bigger than my problems to you. And they should be, right? Your problems, you should be more concerned about your problems than Will Johnson's problems, is what I'm saying here. Right? Does that make sense? Does that make sense, everybody?
Yeah, but there are some people that are doing well.
There are quite a few people that are doing well, and there's people that can, help others, and they're in a position to be able to do so. And I would like to be in that position myself. I'm working towards it. It's just really difficult. So one of the things that you can do to help me out is to bless me by hitting the thumbs up, sharing this video, help me get it out. And just to give you an update, my Facebook page was hacked a year ago. My Facebook page was hacked a year ago, and they had multiple violations on my Facebook page. Multiple violations. And just yesterday or the day before yesterday, all of the violations on my Facebook page have been removed. All of the violations. I don't have any violations, not a single one on there. But they still won't, and I'll open up a ticket with them. As of right now, from what I can tell, they still won't allow me to get any Facebook stars. They're not allowing me to have my page to be monetized. They're not allowing any of that to take place as of right now. And there's some people, I've talked to support via the text messaging system, not Signal. But they're saying that they're looking into it. So if you would, I'm asking you right now, please say a prayer for me. If you can, if you find it in your heart, say a prayer for me, and to put it on the hearts on the people at Facebook to reinstate my monetization. And again, like I said, there's no violations from when the hackers were on there. There's nothing on there. I mean, it says good standing. Like there's no issues. And yes, I am on Rumble. My Rumble channel is monetized. And so is my YouTube channel that I got back after 3 years. My YouTube channel is monetized. Even my X page, it is monetized to an extent, right? If you want to send me a donation through X, you can that way. Subscribe to my X, but you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can become a subscriber there, monthly subscriber if you want to. And the same thing on Rumble, you can there. And same thing on peel.net. You can support me on all these platforms except for Facebook. And the only way you can support me on Facebook is if you go directly to my website. But hopefully, so I'm just asking you, if you take 3 seconds, ask God, please reinstate my Facebook account to where it was. I would greatly appreciate you. Because as it stands right now, the enemy is really trying to shut me down, trying to take me out, and trying to get me to prevent me from doing what I'm doing right now. So I am on Rumble. If you go to my website, uniteamerica1st.com, my producer had it here in the lower third a second ago. If you go to can you put up there? Yeah. uniteamerica1st.com. If you go there, you can help me by supporting me there on my website. And you can go there and say the connect with Will. You can hit the hamburger stack if you're on a mobile device, and it will show you exactly how to get to the YouTube or to the Rumble channel. You'll be able to get there immediately. You'll be able to get there. Okay. And the phone line is open if you want to give me a call. I do have some stuff that I want to share with you, with all of you, of course, naturally. because my issues are my issues, and they're pretty big issues to me, like I just said. But our world, our country has bigger issues, right? Because this is something that affects all of us. And every time I do my broadcast, I very rarely ever talk about myself, because the issues that pertain to all of us is what I always address. And with that said, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm asking you right now, if you can go to my website and support me. If you can go to my website and support me. Okay, here we go. DOGE. DOGE is in the news, and there's dramatic changes that's about to happen within the federal government other than what's already happened. And one thing I like about what Elon Musk has been doing in DOGE is that he's not coming to us telling us what they're going to do, or what they're going to, that they found some stuff and they're going to report it later on. The thing I like about what Elon Musk has done with DOGE is that when they find stuff, they just tell us, this is what we found. And then you can see the reaction of people. And you get two reactions. You get a group of people that are like, oh, yes, this is good. Thank you so much for finding the waste and the fraud. Let's bring it to an end. Thank you so much. So then President Trump can say, stop this, stop that, stop this, stop that. Yes, we love it. Keep going. Do more. Be more aggressive at it. And then you have another group of people that are upset with Elon Musk for doing it. And then they're even saying that, well, he's not actually finding waste and fraud. He's actually stopping actual services that are needing to go out. This is what they're saying. Now, they say this anticipation of people listening to them and not actually going listen to Elon Musk, or even actually going looking up the information themselves. They say it to a certain group of people, and that group of people just take it and run with it. This is the reason why you see a whole bunch of people and getting recorded while they're still doing it. I don't know. I can't explain it. They know that they're on camera and they're still keying these Tesla vehicles.
Right? Do they not know by this point that there's like 9 cameras on the Tesla?
I don't, see, it's like liberal logic.
They're not informed people. So that could be part of the problem.
Maybe, because, I noticed one thing that none of the liberal media, I've yet to see it. Maybe you have, and by all means, send it to me. But I have yet to see the liberal media a single time show anybody where they're out there keying up a Tesla. And then they're showing it to everybody.
That's true.
So
once again,
to go right on what you said,
people,
they're not informed, they don't know. But who doesn't know that the Teslas doesn't have cameras on them?
Dumb people. There are so many of them.
But majority of the people that were buying Teslas were liberals.
I'll be honest with you. I knew that Teslas had cameras, but I didn't realize that it was like a 360 camera system. I didn't know. So I'm watching these cameras going, wow. So when I walk by those cars, are they watching me?
Well, I guess a lot of people wouldn't know, but I knew that they had the camera system all the way around the vehicle because they have all the sensors around the vehicle.
Imagine what they're
seeing.
seeing.
So they use the camera and the sensor because, if the sensor doesn't pick up a person, the camera will see it, and then that data is transmitted to the vehicle. These vehicles are top of the line technology.
Like Teslas are like surveillance pieces driving around.
They really are, because they're constantly recording.
Yeah.
Even when they're parked.
Yeah. So I wonder, that's just amazing to me. So the more Teslas we have out there, the more we're surveilled.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, everybody. The phone line is up. We're going to open up the phone line. If you want to give me a call and we could talk about whatever it is that you want to. It is Friday, your day. Shannon, you can put the phone number up there for me. And so let me play this first clip that I have for you. This is them, of course, DOGE. They have a sit down with Bret Baier talking about some of the findings that they have found. See, this is what I like. They're not coming out and tell you, just hold tight. We're going to come and show you what we have. They're not doing that. They're saying, this is what we found. And again, you have one group of people saying, wow, this is crazy. This is terrible. And then another group saying, this is not true. How dare you expose this? And the biggest catcher for me is that the Democrats, they will go and say, well, you know what? This is how they play it. We like that he's finding waste and fraud. We just don't like the way he's doing it. I mean, how else do you do it? See, they don't mind him finding it. They just don't want him telling it is the problem. But listen to this.
You've got overstaffing. A good example of overstaffing would be the IRS has got 1,400 people who are dedicated to provisioning laptops and cell phones. So if you join the IRS, you get a laptop and a cell phone, you're provisioned. So if each of those IRS officers or employees provisioned 2 employees per day, you could provision the entire IRS in a little more than a month. So 12 times a year, you can re-provision.
Why would you have 1,400 people whose only job it is to give out a laptop and a phone?
Right. The whole IRS could be handled once a month. So that doesn't make any sense.
Did y'all hear this? So 1,400 people, all that they do is hand out a cell phone and a laptop to another IRS employee. That's all that they do. 1,400 people. So again, for everyone that's listening to that, because I had to listen to it twice to make sure I heard what he was saying. 1,400 people in the IRS, all that they do, their only sole job in the IRS, they got one job. And that one job is to hand out a laptop and a cell phone. And if these 1,400, like he said, handed out cell phones and a laptop to 2 people for every day for 1 month, they would have handed out laptops and cell phones to every single person within the IRS in 1 month's time. So the rest of the 11 months, what are they doing? Because what are they doing?
And what happens if you just gave out 2 a day? I mean, we're saying that's not even an 8-hour day that these people would be working.
I mean, you know how easy it is to hand them a cell phone and a laptop?
Or even ship it off.
And they go, but you know what? Let me be clear about something, because I did IT for 20 plus years. And out of that 20 years, I had to get a work laptop and a cell phone. You know, out of 20 years, they would provide me with one. And they would give it to me, and I would install it myself, because, I was IT. And they were like, do you want us to install it for you, or do you want to do it? And then I would do it, because then I can go, and they would create a portal for me to go download the different things that I need to have in order for me to do my job. So all they did was hand it to me. I mean, last time I had got a Mac, they handed me my Mac in the box. I opened it up, peeled it out, connected to the network, logged into the domain, and then boom, I was there. So if I needed to rebuild it, I could rebuild it myself, because they had a portal to go download everything.
Yeah, I mean,
and all they have to do is put on a sheet of paper. You go here, you sign into this with your credentials. That's not on the paper, right? Sign in with your token. What is a hardware token? Could be your cell phone, or they give you little things. They give you numbers on there. You put this number in there. Boom, boom, boom. You're in. You get access to everything. It's really simple. I mean, they've streamlined it to the point to where you don't have to have, 1,400 people to do it. You don't have to have it any longer. So, hey, let me say this really quick. And I've been really trying to figure out how to make this happen. But I want to say thank you to Deborah. Thank you so much, Deborah, for the super chat. Thank you so much. Deborah says, based on Proverbs 21:1, I pray that the king's heart is in the Lord's heart, and he is turning the heart of the Facebook folks to favor you. Will, thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that blessing. Thank you so much. And Buzzy, thank you so much. Buzzy has been on my Facebook account since I think I've created it.
A long time.
And Deborah's been there a really long time too.
We've been blessed with the people that
absolutely
have kept up with you.
So thank you.
I want to say this about the IRS and all these positions, where you have wasteful positions. Really, 1,400 is, you just don't need it, right? But the Biden administration, that is one way that he had his job number look good. He hired people in the government. Consistently under Joe Biden, the number one job growth was always government. He created all these positions to make him look good. So he could get up on the podium and say, well, jobs of growth once again because of everything I'm doing. And really, he was growing the bureaucracy in the government. That's what he was doing. And abuse.
Yeah. Yeah. And abuse. So actually, I think I just figured out how I can do this, Shannon. So I'm going to do this real time if I can. Oh, that's a little weird. Can you listen to the video while you do that? Yeah. Let me play this other video before we do this. Huh? Yeah, this one is about Social Security.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if anybody watched this interview with Bret Baier, which I really don't care for Bret Baier, but I was really impressed with these men. I was impressed with their knowledge and what they were finding in our government. You know, you always think that, oh, it's the government, they should be great, right? We're the greatest government in the world. And then you see how inefficient we have been. This is just mind-boggling.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. Okay.
I'll say the two improvements that we're trying to make to Social Security are helping people that legitimately get benefits, protect them from fraud that they experience every day on a routine basis, and also make the experience better. And I'll give you one example is at Social Security, one of the first things we learned is that they get phone calls every day of people trying to change direct deposit information. So when you want to change your bank account, you can call Social Security. We learned 40% of the phone calls that they get are from fraudsters.
40%?
That's right. Almost half.
Yes, and they steal people's Social Security is what happens. Is they call in, they say, they claim to be a retiree, then they convince the Social Security person on the phone to change where the money's flowing. It actually goes to some fraudster. This is happening all day, every day. And then somebody doesn't receive their Social Security. It's because of all the fraud loopholes in the Social Security system.
I mean, you know, I think a lot of us had speculations or the idea that, you know, some of this fraud stuff was happening like this, but I don't think we knew the level of it. And Elon Musk is actually exposing so much of it.
Yeah, they really are. And one thing that they're saying now going forward that they're going to start doing with the IRS is you can no longer apply or make changes over the phone. You actually are going to have to go into the Social Security building to actually have it changed so they can verify it is you and your information. So I totally love that. I know it's more work and you would think, oh, in the day of technology, we should be able to do that. But one, our system isn't made yet to be able to authenticate people over the phone and computer system, right? Well, you know how like sometimes even LinkedIn now does it, like, oh, you want to be verified and you have to like show your passport or your phone, and then you have to take a picture of yourself in real time. Like there's all these things you have to do in order to, you know, verify your account. There's nothing like that in the government system because it's so archaic and so old. And so it is the number one place that these fraudsters know that they can go to and commit fraud and steal our taxpayer money. And so these guys are trying to stop that. And then the Democrats have the audacity to say, how dare they?
Yeah.
How dare you allow this to go on for so long? It's actually maddening. It's maddening listening to these guys. I mean, I was just sitting there going, how come no other presidency? Now, you know, some presidents just don't know. You know, they haven't been in Washington, D.C. There's so many other bigger issues. They don't have the time or the people to look at it. But how smart was Trump to figure this out and assemble a team like this with Elon Musk? I'm so thankful for the future of America. I really am.
Yeah.
We owe these guys such a debt of gratitude.
Oh my goodness.
And I love how you putting that up on the screen.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, there's a way for me to do it. So I just want to, you know, I want to highlight, you know, I wish I could get when people bless me with the Cash App. I wish there was an API to make that happen. That's geek talk for those of you that don't know. Some of you do know, but I wish it was a way for me to do it. Facebook, I can put Facebook comments up there too, and I can put YouTube comments up there. It'd be nice if they make it to where I can put X and as well as Rumble and Peel.net. Maybe one day it'll come. maybe one day to come. So I do have another one I want to share with you. And also, let me remind you, the phone line is open, 319-527-3453. Give me a call, 319-527-3453. Phone line is open for you to holler at me. Tell me what you think. Are you upset that they found the fraud in all of this? I'm upset that they found it. It should have never happened. It should have never been there. Right? I think our frustration with it is that it's actually there, but those on the left, their frustration is that Elon Musk is exposing it. I don't get it. So I want to share another one with you about all of this. Listen to this one.
Well, this is a revolution, and I think it might be the biggest revolution in government since the original revolution. But at the end of the day, America is going to be in much better shape. America will be solvent. The critical programs that people depend upon will work, and it's going to be a fantastic future. But are we going to get a lot of complaints along the way? Absolutely. One of the things I learned at PayPal was who complains the loudest and with the most amount of fake righteous indignation? The fraudsters. It's a tell. There's some of these NGOs that are crazy, like the $2 billion to Stacey Abrams NGO that basically didn't exist and suddenly gets $2 billion awarded from the federal government. She has, why? And there are many such cases like that.
Can you imagine how upset she is now that $2 billion got cut off from her? And it's talking about Stacey Abrams, right? Because I think I did a report on it where Stacey Abrams they had this nonprofit, and that nonprofit like 2 to 3 months or something like that. And out of all that time, it only had $100 in the bank, just 100. I mean, I guess she could have put some money into it, right? She could have went to some other people. Hey, here's $1,000. I'm gonna need for you to deposit in there. Make it look like it was generating something for a positive means, right? But all of a sudden, it gets $2 billion from $100 to $2 billion. Well, apparently that got reversed. They were actually able to stop that and bring that money back to the federal government. So I can only imagine how she feels about that right now. She's probably angry as all get out.
You know what I want to know? There are, I just looked this up. There are 1.5 million NGOs, non-government organizations here in America right now. There are 15 million NGOs worldwide. I'm curious, in a year or two after America has gone through this DOGE Revolution and streamline the process payments and actually start catching fraud and such, I'm wondering how many of those are going to disappear. It's an interesting number we need to keep an eye on.
Yeah, it really is. Well, Mike Hunt, thank you so much for that. Will, I'm an old fart. Join the club. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Please take on the alpha, the beta, and that's for me. Yeah. Mafia. Yeah, I got you. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you so much.
My family was in the mafia.
Still is.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
You need to holler at them so
I'm
we can get some
Italian
mafia money. I need some right now.
You can see
I'm
my
just
nose
kidding.
every once in a while here on the camera.
Yeah, she's part of the mafia.
And my family was in the Italian mafia.
She's part of the mafia. When I first met Shannon, she had this Uncle Frank. He talked like that. I'm Uncle Frank. Nice to meet you, Will. Uncle Frank. You come to Vegas, Will. You drive my caddy. I'm like, okay. This dude is in the mafia for real? Who is Shannon?
Yeah, he was a cool dude, wasn't he?
Yep. Thank you so much for that blessing. I really do appreciate it. Okay, so I do have so much more to share with you. I do have a lot more I want to share with you. So again, the phone line is open. You sure it's open, Shannon? Yeah. Okay. Just want to make sure. Maybe people think I'm going to bite them.
Yeah, come on. Let's get a few phone calls in here.
Yeah.
We feel kind of lonely on Friday when we don't get phone calls.
Yeah,
we depend on hearing from you.
Yeah, I want to hear your opinion about what Elon Musk is doing.
Hear about Doge.
Yeah,
I want to hear about.
Yeah, are you happy with what Elon Musk is doing when it comes to Doge?
Thing, what does he call it?
It's
Liberation Tuesday is coming.
Oh, Liberation Tuesday?
Next week, yeah.
Yep, because the tariffs are 25.
Day, I should say. I think it's actually Wednesday.
Yeah, with the 25% tariffs. Yeah, that's pretty huge. It's pretty huge, actually.
That's Wednesday next week.
It is pretty huge. So I think I had I think I played all of those, didn't I? Wait a minute. That was the last one. So I just want to play all these because a lot of people haven't had the opportunity to see these. And I think it was like about 30 to 40 minutes. And I'm not going to play all 30, 40 minutes of this interview that Elon Musk had with his team Doge, but I thought it was just highly interesting. This is the kind of stuff that I wish we would get from Pam Bondi and Kash Patel. I mean, they kind of did it the other day, with the MS-13. They kind of did it then, saying that they arrested one that was just 30 minutes outside of DC, which is good. No complaints. I wish we had more. Right. I mean, because there's some people that they could actually get. I wish it was more. So we do have a phone call. Awesome. Thank you so much. What a blessing. Thank you so much.
Yes, caller, you are on the line.
Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Betty Murphy.
Hello.
I live in Maryland.
Hello, Betty.
Hello.
Hey, thank you so much for the call.
Hello. Yeah, I want to thank you and Shannon for everything that you do. For all of us. You are such a blessing.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. You know what? I've been doing this ever since I've been doing this is because I love my country. I love the people in my country. And ultimately, above all things, because of our Lord Jesus Christ. I give all glory to him.
Amen.
I give all glory to him.
He's in control and his will be done.
Yes.
And nobody's going to stop that.
No one's going to stop it. 100% correct.
Betty, where are you calling from? What
Virginia,
state are you
right?
in?
No, I live in Southern Maryland.
Oh, Southern Maryland.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and this state is a blue state.
Yes.
They are raising our taxes like nobody's business, okay?
Really?
They're raising them here in Texas too.
Or income taxes? What's going up?
They're raising taxes on small businesses to businesses.
Oh, yeah.
They're raising taxes on just everything, even to drive. It's crazy.
Wow.
And there's people moving out of this state. It's bad. It's real bad. And our governor is Governor Moore, and I think he's a 2.0 of an Obama. So,
yeah, actually, we're in Texas now, and we're disappointed because our property taxes are out of control here. There's no income tax, but the property taxes are ridiculous. Like they've gone up so much.
Here. Ours is here too. They go up every year, and it's just awful. It is awful. And I'm retired. Matter of fact, Will, I'm the one that you said, a beautiful young 67.
Absolutely.
I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
But as far as what Elon Musk is doing, I think it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. This has been long overdue. Long overdue. Because I've known for years that our government was just corrupt. I've known it. And I am just so happy that President Trump has brought somebody in to expose all this stuff. I am just so happy about it. Yep, I am.
Yeah, I am too. Is there anything surprising, though, to you? Is there anything you're like, wow, that's crazy?
All of it is. I mean, all of it.
I agree, yeah.
Let me ask you this. Did you think that President Trump was going to do as much as he's doing this time? Now, we wanted him to do a lot, right? But for me, I mean, he's going above and beyond.
Yeah, definitely.
And I love everything that he's doing, right?
Yes, he is. He is showing the American people how much he loves this country and how much he loves the people in this country. He's a wonderful president. And I'm going to be honest with you. There's been no president before him that could even stand up to President Trump. And I think they need to put him on Mount Rushmore. What do you think?
Ooh, I do.
You know what?
I
100%. This is the greatest president this country has ever had. Now, we've had great presidents in the past. We're not denying that. We're not taking that away. But we have to admit that President Trump is the greatest president the country's ever had. The greatest.
And I think part of it is because of everything that they've put him through. He has stood up to the deep state and to other entities like no other person. And he didn't have to do it. He doesn't have to do this. But he wanted to do this for America. And he's exposed them. And I'm so, so appreciative to him. Honestly, what a great man he is going to be seen as in history.
Yes, he is. I just pray for him every day, for him to stay safe and his cabinet. Now, Pam Bondi, she, I'm a little, I don't know what to think about her. I just wish that she would step up to the plate more than, instead of getting in front of a TV screen, I wish she'd just step up to the plate and do more than what she's doing. I don't know. I'm just, I don't know about her.
And you know what, Betty, I want to tag on to that because, yesterday she did the press conference with Kash Patel and all of them. And they're talking about MS-13. And, every time she steps up to the podium, I'm not saying that, President Trump sees something great in her. Okay. But every time she steps up or is interviewed, I'm so turned off by her. I don't know what it is. I don't know if she's just not a person that stands in front of a mic. I mean, I know that, but if she would just be able to articulate better to us, like what she's doing and her experience, I think I would feel so much better. But she does not instill confidence in me. Like when I listen to her, I don't have confidence in her.
And I feel, that's how I feel. I feel the same exact way. And sometimes, President Trump, he kind of keeps his enemies close. So, I'm thinking, well, maybe this is to be exposed. I don't know. He does a lot of exposing, okay?
Yes, he does.
So, but President Trump, you can't beat him. You can't.
No. No.
And America better wake up because he's in there for 4 years. We need to get somebody in there that's going to be just like him. Because if we don't, this country's gone.
At least carry on his economics and his great knowledge of how to run a country, right? To show America's strength and put America first. Like at least there'll never be another Trump, but at least somebody that puts America first instead of their own ideology and be run by these lobbyists and all this other crap. I cannot stand it. But thank you so much for the call, Betty. We appreciate you. It's nice hearing from you.
Thank you so much, Betty.
Yes. You have a blessed day.
You too.
Take
Bye-bye.
care.
All right. Well, we have another caller. Last numbers are 7406. You're on the line.
Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yes, this is Deborah Pagan. I'm calling from Florida.
Ah, Deborah, thank you so
thank
much.
you so much. You're a blessing.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate you both. And I just got to get a couple of things off my chest. And that goes back to my great-grandmother who was born like 30 years after slavery. So I'm Black. She's Black. Everybody's Black in my family. All right. So she said to my mother, one, be independent as SHIT.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And she would say the word. Be independent as that. Be glad that the white man brought you here. And after learning more about my history, I'm like, I'm glad that the African man told me to come here. Okay, so that was the other thing. Then she said, work hard and what else? Behave yourself. Okay, so that's what she would tell my mother. Now, my mother had a sister, my aunt, and I call them the tale of two sisters because they both had the same parents. but they took two different paths. One, my aunt, she was big on civil rights when Dr. King was in D.C. My family is from D.C. She was down there in Montreal, Washington. My mother didn't go. She said we needed to take care of our own families, not look to the government for, because she was like her grandmother, my great grandmother, be independent. So my aunt, she went to Montreal, Washington. My aunt worked for the federal government, the Department of Treasury, for 50 years. My mother had her own business. She flourished. It was amazing. She worked hard, and she could not understand why my sister, I'm sorry, her sister, my aunt, could work at the same job day in, day out, year in, year out, doing the same thing and depending on the government for stuff. My mother was like, okay, why do you have all these days off? My mother couldn't fathom that when my aunt is like, oh, we got this day off and I still get paid and blah, blah, blah. So the tale of two sisters I look at with this DOGE thing, I'm like, okay, yeah, I could see where my aunt would have been the one doing like a 2-hour job that she get paid for 8 hours because that's how it was. Right.
It still is.
And then right?
Yeah, still is.
Exactly. Right. I can see that because that's what they were doing back then. So I'm of the mind where people need to, like my great grandmother say, be independent. So I'm praying for you that you keep your eye on the Lord, that he will bless you and you do not give up, because they want those who love the Lord to be destroyed. They like you say, they don't want the truth to come out. They don't want those who serve the Lord to be at the forefront. So I'm with you. I'm like, keep going, keep pressing on, don't give up, because the enemy at some point he's going to get his just desserts. He's going to be destroyed and all the rest of them. But you, my friend, stay positive.
Thank you.
Don't give up.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I've always heard that, when people get to that breaking point, and a lot of people get to that point. It's like you get to that breaking point, and then a lot of people just quit. It's like, I can't do it. And I'm just, without me going into details about what's happening in my life right now, it's like I'm at that crossroad right now. Do I just give up, or do I continue to do what I believe that God put me, because God has blessed me so much to be where I am right now. And the enemy knows because I've expressed my heart for our Lord, right? The enemy knows that I show my feelings and the way I am about our country and support, what is good. And as a result, he uses people to attack me, and they've done some. I mean, I can't even. If I went into detail, it would probably break me down right now. It's really that bad. I got family members, and if they've done so much.
Stay strong.
It's so much. It's so much, and I'm at that crossroads. That's why I was asking people to pray for me.
It's a different time, and you wonder,
change.
Should we be doing something else? I mean, you could still speak, your truth and talk about the Lord, and maybe have. We don't know if there's a shifting point. We don't know, but it's it's a hard time. So we are, believe me, praying every day, going, tell us what's next. What are we doing? You need to be able to have the fuel to do what you're doing. And if the fuel is not there, you're like, what do you do? So, but anyways, thank you so much for your story. I love it, Deborah. It's so wonderful to see that people are seeing the truth. I always say that if you work hard, God will take care of you. Why everybody worry about everybody else? You know what I mean? We are not meant to, even the way that the United States was set up, we are not to depend on the government.
Amen.
But so many people depend on the government.
It was not created.
It was
the government was not created to take care of everybody.
Yeah, the government's not daddy.
Literally.
The government's not daddy.
Right.
No,
right.
No. But anyway.
Yeah. So that's one thing we need to realize is that that's not what the government was set up for.
Yep.
But
100%.
that's the trick of the enemy.
Yep.
And we got to stop that.
Yep. Well, hey, Deborah.
He always infiltrates and ruins everything, doesn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Right. Thank you, Deb.
Thank you so much for the blessing, Deborah.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Right. God bless you all. And I'm listening. So y'all take care.
God bless.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we have Kevin from South Dakota.
Hey, Kevin.
On the line.
Hey, Kevin. Thank you so much for the call.
Hey, Will. Shannon, how are you today?
Man, it's Friday. Blessed. Going through some things, but we're blessed.
Amen.
I'm happy. I hear you. We all are, Will.
Yes, sir.
I mean, it's been a tough 4 years for us small business owners.
Yes, sir.
But I just want to get to a couple topics, if I may. Pam Bondi, biggest disappointment, period. I mean, she comes on and I have no confidence in her. And I'm very discouraged with her. But the big topic is Trump going to the Supreme Court today. And what happens when the Supreme Court fails us? Yeah. That's a thing I think everybody should be really, really thinking about.
Yeah.
Because quite frankly, I don't trust them. And it's going to come to a point where the rubber's going to meet the road. And these judges have gone rogue. And even Schumer said, we didn't shut the government down because we had to use the judges.
Yeah. You know, I actually played that the other day and he said that they put judges in place for the sole purpose of fighting Trump.
Exactly. I believe there was 247 of them that were put in by Biden. That number may be wrong, but it's in the high 200s.
Yeah.
But they're all cut from the same cloth. And last night, 2 judges went against Trump, and it's just every day.
You know what, Kevin? I'm sorry. You know what, Kevin? I don't understand how these judges took an oath to defend and protect the Constitution, meaning they want to protect the American people and uphold the law. So they turn around and they actually fight and advocate for people who's breaking the law, and they manipulate the law so that it will look like it's lawful what they're doing. It's almost like they're changing the law in real time, like the gas prices.
Yeah. And for those who don't know, Trump is going to the Supreme Court today to ask them to allow him to start doing the deportations again for gangbangers.
Why stop him from doing that?
I don't know if you know this, but Boasberg, the one that put the stop on, and Brett Kavanaugh,
yes,
were actually roommates in law school.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
So that explains Brett Kavanaugh's position.
Yeah, Bill.
I apologize, Will. I didn't catch what you said.
I was just saying that explains Brett Kavanaugh's position.
Yeah. Well, and the funny thing is that it ain't funny. It's damn scary, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm back to my point on that. What happens when they do something that is so blatantly obvious that, you know what I mean, against the law and against us, and I guess it's a movement of what we're trying to do to stifle it. I mean, where do we go from there? I mean, I'm not calling for any acts of violence or anything. That's not in our MO. But at some point, you get pushed too far, and good men have to make tough decisions.
That's true. That's true.
I think there are legislation. I think that the House needs to get working. We need to start getting legislation to protect and enshrine what our Constitution intended certain entities to be, and to clarify certain powers. And I feel like they're not busy enough. We should start having, I'm talking about 1 page. It could be 1 page legislation. It doesn't need to be 2, 3, 4, 5 things in it. Let's start taking some things to the floor that are going to help Trump and better America in the future.
Well, and I agree 110%, Shannon, but they're off again today.
Well, yeah, it's Friday. They're going home.
Yeah, they after Thursday, like at noon, they're pretty much done. Like, I'm done for the week. It's like they get 3-day weekends all the time.
And Easter's coming up. They'll be off for 2 weeks.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden we're into 120 days into this presidency and not a piece of legislation's been entered.
Yeah, I mean, they did refrigeration. They freed up some regulations this week. I mean, that's the number one piece of legislation I could say they did this week. But okay, like, that's going to free up prices here. But that's not what we need. Some legislation that matches the executive orders that Trump has set forth.
I agree 100%. But I don't see it ever happening. They brought Elise Stephanie back because, you know, we're on the verge of after we won the House, we're on the verge of losing the House.
Yeah.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the Senate.
Smart, absolutely.
And the Senate, which I don't understand. Yeah, and the Senate, which I don't understand why was taking them so long. And you know what? They're so accustomed to, like, okay, well, we'll just kick the can down. We'll just wait. They'll just wait. And then the next thing you know, they were talking about another omnibus bill. And I'm like, really? What are you doing right now? I mean, I don't understand. You know, let me put it this way. You ever work on a construction site?
22 years in the trade in California, Oakland, California.
So then you'll know exactly what I'm talking about here. When you go work on a construction site, when you lay down, the first thing you got to do is you got to map it out. Then you lay down the foundation, right? But if you get to the point where they're getting ready to pour the concrete and they say, well, wait a minute. We can't pour the concrete just yet. We can't pour the concrete yet. And they never pour the concrete. They never get anything done. They prolong everything. They want to take one job that only takes a week and they push it out to make it 6 weeks. They never want to complete a job in the time that it should be completed in. And see, that's where they're getting upset with DOGE, with Elon Musk, because he's doing so much with just a short amount of time.
He sure is. And you know what? This weekend, guess where Musk is going? He's going to Wisconsin. He's going to start helping the Republican, Republican candidate for the Supreme Court.
Yeah, because it's a huge race.
That she will get rid of 2 GOP seats in was it the House or the Senate if she gets in there. So craziness is happening.
Yeah, and then they'll align the voting the voting line so
get rid of them,
that they actually flip the whole state.
Yeah.
See, that's just, I mean, it's crazy the political climate that we are in, right? And these Democrats, they play in the most manipulative, unfair, no integrity. I mean, it's maddening.
Yeah.
It's maddening.
Well, you know, and the funny thing is, you know, people say, well, the Democrat Party's dead. No, they're really not. They're just more going to be more conniving.
Yeah.
And it's a perfect example of what Shannon just said in Wisconsin. I mean, I live in South Dakota. I have friends in Wisconsin, and I can't believe Wisconsin is a red or a blue state. I can't believe it. And it's just because of the college towns.
Yeah,
and
I was
Milwaukee.
going to say the big cities always are where it hurt. I mean, California's the same way. You go out in rural California and they'll have Trump signs everywhere, but you go to Silicon Valley and it's all liberal, you know? I mean,
I left California after 9/11, and shortly thereafter, we had small children at the time, and we were getting they were getting taught in Spanish and in English for kindergarten, and they were bringing homework home, and I'm going, why can't you get in kindergarten? And they said, well, we have that's the first time I ever heard the word diversity.
Actually, you know what? That happened to me when I grew up in California. I went to school in Norco, California. We had a Spanish aide and a teacher, and they said I actually had to repeat first grade because they said I started getting confused between Spanish and English. I was confused. I was like, I didn't know what was. So I actually had to stay back. I had to stay back a grade. And then that class was just in English, and then of course I flourished from there.
Well, you start speaking Spanglish, and once you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You don't really speak Spanish, but you speak Spanglish, and it's confusing. I'm sure to children. It was to me as an adult. But anyhow, guys, you have a good weekend.
You too.
And whatever me and Rhett 66 have been with you for a long, long time, Will. Wow. And we appreciate everything you do.
Oh, well, I really appreciate you. And I see your comments on pill.net right now.
I'm on chat. I'm at 94 Winchester on Pill.
Okay. Well, someone else got Rhett 66. Okay, you're talking about Rhett 66. I see Rhett 66 on there right now. Yep.
Rhett's my missus.
Oh, okay.
My wife. But hey, I appreciate you guys, and just Will, keep your head up, because you know what? Tough times make tough people, and you're tough.
That's true. That is true.
You know, it's like April's my most expensive month with, just every bill hits.
Yeah.
And I was complaining about money the other day. I'm going,
my goodness.
In a month, it won't matter because I'll get through.
You know what? I'm in that same position right now. And you know what? My producer, we're sitting there looking at the expense for our website because, we pay for our website just once a year. And I mean, it's at the point right now, I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep my website up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really that bad on my end. And, like I said, I don't really ever go into like really extremely personal details and stuff of mine. But yeah, you're right. And right now it's like, because I did it based on, where I do my taxes and stuff like that. And it's going to hit me hard right now.
Yeah.
It's going to hit me hard. So,
and if you're a small business owner, you know exactly what we're talking about.
So, well, hey.
And you know what? Being a small business owner, this last 6 years, we became very tough with COVID and everything. If a person out there who's a small business owner is having a tough time survived the COVID experience, you're going to be okay, because we all took hits.
Yeah, we all took hits.
Big time on COVID.
Well, hey, Kevin, thank you so much.
Have a great weekend.
Thanks, Kevin.
You too. Thanks,
God
Kevin.
Bless. All right,
let me say this really quick. Let me say thank you to Filter Dog on pill.net for the pills. Thank you so much for that. Okay, we got another call.
Yep, we have the last caller. This is Victoria from Indiana.
Hey, Victoria, thank you so much for the call.
Hey, Will, Jen, how y'all doing today?
It's Friday.
Well, listen, it sounds to me like you need a little pep talk, all of you. So here's the deal. Okay?
I need one. Yes, I'll take it. Thank you. I will receive it.
All right. You believe in Jesus Christ, right?
Oh, absolutely, with all my heart.
There you go. So what's your problem?
Yeah, I know. I'm just, let me be clear about something. And you're right. You're right. I'm not arguing with you. I'm just telling you. You know what? Let me just say this real quick, and then you can go. You know what? I'm sometimes, I completely trust in the Lord, and the Lord has shown me so many things, and I'm like right at that point, like, what am I going to do? The decisions, and to be honest with you, to be 100% open, transparent, honest with you. Sometimes, my flesh, it's a struggle between my flesh and the spiritual, right? My flesh is telling me to do one thing, and my spirit is 100%. And you're 100% correct. Yeah. I can't even argue with you, but my flesh is like, it's that struggle.
You can't give up though, because you know why? It's not an option.
Yeah.
It's not an option for you to give up, because all these years that we've all been struggling out here, you have been our ears and voice for us, Will. People like you, and you're one of the best, bud. Okay?
I appreciate it.
You remember that poem. I've been a single mom most of my life. I didn't do a great job. It's been hell competing against all these liberal mothers all these years. But, you know, don't hang on. I don't want to forget this because I was getting off track. I'm 70 years old now, but I just look back and I think, no, giving up ain't an option. But that's not just what I wanted to tell you. But,
well, let me add this right, if you can think about it again. You know, I'm at the position right now to where my family members that I used to be able to, if I needed some help, my family members, because of my belief in Christ and because I support President Trump, my family members have rejected me. So I can't reach out for them for help or assistance. I'm 100%, you know, depending on God and hope that God puts it on, you know, his people's heart to support me.
We'll come through for you, and it's Footprints in the Sand. Do you remember that poem?
Oh, 100%. Yes. It's an amazing poem. That's
the poem I've always listened to. And I come from a family of 5 generations of women, didn't have a dad in my life, and Lord sent me to raise 3 boys on my own. Don't think I ain't read that poem over and over again.
Yes.
So you keep thinking about that. We'll get you through, Will. We are your family, dude.
I appreciate you. I really do appreciate you.
I know what it's like. I got nobody either, and you're like part of my family. And when I hear you down and out like that, I said, damn, I got to pick up the phone and call Will.
You know, I really do thank you for the call, and your call is a blessing. And that's why a lot of times, because I constantly say it, that I never put out my personal business. Like when I'm going through things and I'm struggling, because I'll be lying and say if I don't struggle. Right. I'll be lying to you, and I'm not going to do that to anyone. A lot of times I just don't tell anybody about my struggles. No. I always just kind of keep them to myself because I always trust in the Lord. The Lord has always come through for me. And I'm just asking right now, all I can do is I'm asking our Lord Jesus publicly to, for his people to help me.
Yeah, we believe in the power of prayer.
Me through this. And and to pray for me.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
We believe in the power of prayer.
That's what I keep doing.
Yes.
100%. That's right, Shannon. Well, listen, I'll let you go. You have a great weekend. It's going to be beautiful here in Indiana, southeastern Indiana.
Yes. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you,
I love
Victoria.
y'all, man.
God bless.
You're Shannon.
Yep.
Love the both of you. Everybody, all right?
Love you. Right.
Love you back.
Have a great weekend.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right, everybody. We are at the end. There was a lot more to talk about, with DOGE and everything, but it is what it is. This hour went by really fast. I'm actually going over a little bit. If you haven't already, please, if you're watching on YouTube, Rumble, even Facebook, please share the video, Rumble as well, and hit the thumbs up. Same thing on X. I greatly appreciate all of you for tuning in. God bless you, everyone. Have a wonderful, blessed weekend. See you on Monday.